Fatigue, vertigo, and nausea. These are not symptoms of a disease, but something experienced by 31% of teenagers in Northern Ireland, a hangover. This is only one of the many negative consequences of excessive drinking that affect young people. The harmful effects of alcohol could be roughly divided into two sections, the first being the actual physical damage it does to your body. Drinking a lot over a long time or too much on a single occasion could cause the development of health issues such as cardiomyopathy, stroke, high blood pressure, steatosis, fibrosis, or worst of all, many different types of cancer. These words may seem like complicated medical terms with no meaning, but understand this. Through alcohol, these problems can affect the heart, liver, pancreas, and brain. These are the most important body parts vital for survival, yet we allow them to be damaged so easily by simply being unable to resist this poison in disguise. The second section is one that is not usually acknowledged by many. Yet this influence of alcohol can completely change a teenager's lifestyle. It makes you lose control over many aspects of your life and influences you to make decisions you wouldn't if you were sober. I remember a few months back, me and my family were out for dinner at a restaurant. The warm and peaceful atmosphere of the place was suddenly disrupted as a drunk lady stumbled in, loudly complaining and crashing into tables. As I got up to throw some trash in the bin, she staggered over and attempted to punch me. Would she have done this if she was sober? This is an example of how alcohol interferes with the brain's communication pathways and can cause changes in mood and behavior, making it harder to think clearly and move with coordination. It can drive people to make irrational decisions such as committing crimes or ruin people's relationships with each other by saying stuff they don't mean and will later regret, or in some cases, not even remember. Another downside to teenagers excessively drinking is that it is a waste of time. The many hours spent drinking and partying on school days could be much more effectively spent doing homework and studying. It is especially important at a teenager's age to avoid drinking, as this is the age where maximum focus and attention is required on education for those doing their GCSEs and A-levels. Another reason for this is the fact that earlier teenagers start to drink, the more likely they are to develop an addiction. However, like most things in this world, we should not judge and look down upon others before putting ourselves in their shoes, which leads us to the question, why do teenagers drink? The reason for this could be as simple as the natural desire to rebel against parents. However, in most cases, it is more complicated than this. Most teenagers, if not all, have a point in their life where they struggle with their mental health. At this point, it is necessary for someone to be there for the teenager to express their feelings and emotions to. But for some people, especially in Northern Ireland, there's a trend of bottling up these feelings until you drink heavily to forget them and feel better. This is usually assisted by the stereotype of Irish people being heavy drinkers, which can lead people to feel that they are separating themselves from their culture by not partaking in binge drinking. For teenagers raised with these examples, there's a common fear of judgment, which prevents them from opening up and causes them to resort to drinking. Another reason for teenagers excessively drinking may be peer pressure from friends, as it is now seen as something cool rather than dangerous. It is also more likely for guys to drink than girls, as it is portrayed as the manly thing to do. So how can we solve this problem? The reason that it is so easy for teenagers to get their hands on alcohol is how accessible it is. One of the first measures we should implement is funding the use of further advanced technology for detecting more fake IDs. It is simply too easy to con your way into age-restricted areas and experiences such as bars and clubs. Another way to reduce the number of young people drinking is by introducing more experiences designed with the well-being of young teenagers in mind to provide other alternatives to drinking. An example of this could be more workshops like Smashed delivered to schools, educating the young students of the dangers of excessively consuming alcohol at an early age. Although some teenagers may deny the mental help they need due to fear of judgment, we should implement the normalization of therapy being sought by the individuals that require it. Lastly, it would be a good idea to extend the closing time for places of entertainment such as the cinema or amusement park to later in the night, as many groups of friends who go out to drink at night only do so because it is the only activity available at the time, and their choice of fun is limited. By putting these points into action, we can start clearing up the path ahead that is clouded by many reasons and excuses for underage excessive drinking. We must act now before it's too late and we've drunk our future away.